Nature of sin, biblical point of view. Argument number 1. Romans 6:15. What then? Shall we sin because we are not under law but under grace? Certainly not. So what is he saying? He's saying, hey, with this wonderful grace and that Jesus has freely done for you, so now what? Shall we sin more because we're under grace? Certainly not. Whoever you obey, you become a slave to the one you obey. In Romans 6:16, it says, do you not know that to whom you present yourselves slaves to obey, you are the one slave whom you obey, whether of sin leading to death, or of obedience leading to righteousness? Argument number 2. We often hear this. This is not true under grace, because Jesus' obedience, not my obedience, took care of everything for me. And now, it doesn't really matter much what I do, or whether I obey what the Bible reveals to me, because Jesus and His grace and His obedience took care of all of that. Let's see in the light of this very well-known example, Adam and Eve's rebellion. We all know the story. Adam didn't acknowledge what he did. Instead of humbling himself, he hardened himself and even played a blame game. See, Adam was given authority, and every time we have authority, the outcome is on us. Genesis 3:17 in the Amplified. Then to Adam the Lord God said, because you have listened attentively to the voice of your wife, and have eaten fruit from the tree about which I commanded you, saying, you shall not eat of it. The ground is now under a curse because of you. The Young's literal translation says, curse is the ground on thine account, meaning on Adam's account. If we will trace it back to its roots and origin, all the problems of humanity today are a result of Adam's trespass, particularly rebellion. And that's always the choice that I have and that you have when truth comes. Are we going to harden to the truth or humble to the truth? But there's no middle ground. Let's go to argument number 3. Are we free to do anything we want to do? Here's another question. Do you really want to? You may be free to do whatever you want to do. I might be free to do whatever I want to do. But do I really want to? Romans 6:16 in the Message, it says, you know well enough from your own experience that there are some acts of so-called freedom that actually destroys freedom. Let me read it to you from the Passion Translation. It says, what are we to do then? Should we sin to our heart's content since there's no law to condemn us anymore? What a terrible thought. Don't you realize that grace frees you to choose your own master? But choose carefully, for you surrender yourself to become a servant, bound to the one you choose to obey. What has grace done for me? It has freed me to choose for myself. It's on me. But if I don't choose, it's in the devil's hand. That's why I can't say, well, it's all up to God, and by His grace everything's going to work out fine. Is it? Well, that's a good declaration. That's a very good declaration to declare. By the grace of God, everything's going to work out fine. But you know what grace is going to do then? Grace is going to teach you what to choose and what not to choose.